wrong reason. They weren't looking for annuities. They were sold annuities by somebody who was making a big fat commission, and that is the reason why they presented the annuity to their client in the first place. So let's talk about what annuities are and the different kinds that there are. There's two types of annuities. Well, there's more than two, but there's two basic ones. There's a fixed annuity and there's a variable annuity. Think of a fixed annuity as a CD. A fixed annuity does not fluctuate. It pays interest.
Right.
All annuities are tax deferred, meaning that as the interest is paid, or the tax year.
I know, I had to open my window because it was
what annuities are, they're investment pools that are put together by insurance companies. Now, insurance companies did this years ago to compete with investment banks. A lot of money wasn't going into insurance products. They were going into investments like mutual funds and things like that. So, insurance companies wanted to compete. They had a very powerful lobby. They had very powerful allies in Congress, and they allowed annuities to be tax deferred, which made them more attractive than, say, mutual funds. Okay, so they are tax deferred. You don't pay taxes till you take the money out, and you can hold them almost forever before you have to take them out. It's not like an IRA account. Now, variable annuities have what are called separate accounts. These are mutual funds. So now you put together a mutual fund portfolio with different degrees of risk, and hopefully they'll grow over and above what the fixed annuity would do, and they'll be tax deferred until you take the money out. So that's basic annuities. Now, why don't I like them? I don't like them because of the way they're structured. I call them the Roach Motels of investment. You remember the old commercial, the Roach Motel? You can get in, but you can't get out. Well, you can get in these annuities, but it's very difficult to get out. And here's an example. I had a new client in my office this week, and they had a variable annuity that they established 2 years ago. And unbeknownst to them, I told them, there's a surrender fee if you try to take the money out, because they wanted to do something different with it. And they didn't even know that there was a surrender fee. And many people who are selling these annuities don't tell their clients what the surrender fees are. Not many do, but I'm saying there's a lot that don't. So what happens is you put your money in this annuity, you put $100,000 in it, and you ask them, well, how do you get paid? Oh, we get paid by our company. Don't worry about it. It doesn't come out of your money. All right, fine. Well, the insurance company pays them as much as 15% of what you invested. And now the insurance company will make management fees on the annuity accounts themselves, which are very high, between 2 and 3% a year, whereas mutual funds may be 1%. So the insurance company now is making money to manage these annuities, and over the course of the years, they're going to make back the money they paid him plus some. That's the theory. Now, if you want to take your money out the second year of the annuity, they'll hit you with a huge fee. And that surrender fee gets the money back that they paid the salesman. That's why you pay the surrender fee, because they don't want to lose money on this account. Now, the surrender fees could start as high as 17%. I've seen 20% surrender fees. A typical one would be 10%. Over 10 years, it drops 1% a year maybe. But you have to hold it 10 years. So you're trapped there. I don't like to have my money anywhere where I don't have the flexibility to access it, change an investment, without paying a ton of fees. So that's the reasons why. There's more reasons why. The key here simply is I don't like the idea that somebody is unethical and will think of themselves over their client. And that's not the way financial planning should be done. The way you should do is find out what your needs are, and then that financial advisor should go find the right products that fit your needs and risk tolerance. That's not what happens. And I have a friend, I have a very close friend, who is in the business, and all he does is sell annuities. And I asked him why. He goes, because I make the highest commission. I go, you should be ashamed of yourself. I said, how can you do financial? You're not doing financial advice. You're just selling people investments is what you're doing. That's what he's doing. He's trying to make himself money. And I said, how do you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning? And he says, I look in the rearview mirror of my Cadillac. I mean, that's so unethical. I mean, it's just not the right thing to do. Now, I'll tell you, there was a situation I had where annuity was appropriate. And here, follow this example. These people come to see me, husband and wife. They had won the Pick 6 lottery in New Jersey. They were getting $875,000 a year for 20 years. And they came to me 10 years into it. And they had $800,000 saved. They were living pretty good. and they knew that 10 years from now that payment would stop, and they wanted to invest that $800,000. Now, to them, an annuity made sense because A, the money was long term, they didn't need it. B, they were in the highest tax bracket because they were getting those payments from the annuity, and they could use the tax-deferred nature of the annuity. That's the last annuity I've ever given anybody 10 years ago. As a matter of fact, I let my license lapse on that because I am not into giving people annuities. It's just not important. So, if you're asking me, Barbara, because somebody came up to you, are you retired, Barbara?
Yeah.
Yeah. These people prey on retired people. Okay, and it's very easy for them to argue why an annuity makes sense. I mean, a good salesman can make anything look good and talk you into it. But just keep in mind, the reason he's showing you this, whether it's appropriate for you or not, is because of the dollar signs he sees that he's going to make. And if you put, I had a client come to me with over $1 million in annuities. The person who sold it to this guy made $100,000 of one client. That's absurd. Also, IRA accounts. Nothing burns me more than when I see somebody come and see me and they have an annuity in an IRA account. Why would you ever put an IRA in an annuity? An IRA is already tax deferred. There's no reason to go into an annuity. But again, the reason they're in the annuity is because somebody sold it to them and told them it was the best thing since sliced bread.
So even if someone would say to you, I'm not making the commission for what I'm selling you, the company is paying me commission, is that really true then?
Well, it's partially true. Yes, the company's paying it to them, but you are on the hook for it. In other words, if you do not satisfy the terms of the contract, meaning hold it for the full length of the surrender period, then when you leave, you're going to pay it. So yeah, it's contingent. Right now, the insurance company's paying it, but believe me, you'll pay for it if you try to take your money out. Now things can happen over 10 years. Some of them are 7 years, some of them are 15. And just be aware, the length of the surrender fee many times, and the extent, the depth of it, how much you pay per year, is established by the salesman. He wants to make. So if you see it's a 15-year starting at 17%, this guy is a financial whore who's basically taking the maximum commission he can regulatory take on you. And if you take that money out, you will be destroyed.
Yeah, you're looking good in your turn.
I would say that you should make sure that this person, it makes the case so hard that you can't understand why you would not do this.
Oh,
You're 1,000% sure. Because I'm leery. I think 90% of people with annuities should not have had them in the first place, especially seniors. I just don't think it's appropriate.
I'm going to have to get you on. I'm going to have to back out, so I want this in.
At 51 years old, in the maximum tax bracket, I max out my retirement plans, and I have extra money.
So I'd be left it open for me.
Retirement, and I don't want to pay tax on it.
Well, that's a nice thing.
Resources.
They knew you were coming.
But somebody who's retired, who probably needs income from their money, why do they want to put it in a tax-deferred growth vehicle like a variable annuity, where they can't access the money without all kinds of penalties and problems? Another way it becomes a roach motel is that, say you put $50,000 in an annuity 10 years ago, and now it's worth $100,000. The first $50,000 that comes out is going to be taxable. So now a lot of people say, geez, I don't want to take the money out of the annuity because I'll have this big tax bill. So now Mr. Annuity Salesman says, I'll tell you what
If you need to do anything, I'll be just a little bit.
Why don't we just transfer it from
I'll sit right here for a while.
Now you defer the taxes. And now he'll make another big fat commission, and now you'll be locked up for another 10 years. So annuities are really my pet peeve. I don't think they're appropriate for 90% of the people who they're shown to, and you better be sure, Barbara, that that's what you want to do. And let me just mention immediate annuities. Immediate annuities are where you give the insurance company X number of dollars, and they give you a monthly income for the rest of your life. I hate those. Why would you want to give up your hard-earned cash to have them give you what's the equivalent of 6 or 7% a year? And the problem with those annuities, especially if you take the option that gives you the most money per month, is that if you die, even after 2 payments, you could lose the entire balance of that money. And then there's some annuities where, okay, well, I want the income to come in for my life and my wife's life. Okay, well, then it'll drop. You'll get less per month at the beginning, and then when you die, your wife will get half. So she may wind up getting 2 to 3% of the value of the original investment. When you can invest it yourself, give yourself a monthly